Hey, and welcome to the SLO City Together Podcast. My name is Jordan. I'm here with Brent.
Welcome.
He is a friend of mine, co-worker,
Cohort.
family, cohort,
Collaborator.
partner.
And this morning I'm the giver of the news.
He's Googling. He's Googling what's going on in the world.
I am. Today there's a wind advisory in place for the South Coast, mountains, and foothills.
Yeah?
Also, 3 million Americans filed for unemployment last week.
Wow.
We're now at like 34 million people.
Where's that stand in record?
It has shattered every record.
But by how much do you know? You don't know.
I have no.
Why
I don't know the details of that.
Yeah.
But
Political scientist.
Let me look back. Let me tap into the archives of my my brain. Never looked that up before.
Are you prone to political conspiracy or
How is the unemployment rate a conspiracy?
I'm going back to previous conversations.
Before we started this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you prone to chase rabbit trails like that?
Okay. Okay. Rabbit trails. No, but I am skeptical. I will say this. I am skeptical of politics.
Yeah.
Because it usually deals with money,
saving face,
a little bit of corruption, some lying. I just want a decent person to just decent. Just give me a decent option.
A good man who can find.
And I know that's not popular for the church, but we're going to submit to our governing authorities as the Bible. But there's a lot of conspiracy things, all these things coming out about, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want somebody to lead. And you look at Jesus.
Yeah.
And he's the ultimate servant leader.
Yeah.
And you want that. And so, I don't know, I don't want to make anybody mad if you're a Republican, Democrat.
Yeah, but like Jesus, that's the thing.
Green Party.
He sidestepped the whole political thing because that's what people wanted.
They wanted him to be a politician.
And he was like, nah.
He's like, listen.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. But he taught, but he talked to politicians.
Sure.
He knew, I think he knew the discourse. I think you got to know how the political landscape and the language to be able to know where you're at.
Yeah.
And to be able to know what the issues are. Because realistically, there's some policy that drives poverty or drives prosperity for whoever you are. Right? And so there's economic toll to policy. There's some social ramifications, some justice department issues, or like how you govern, how you police. Like that's been an issue in this that's been brought up.
Yeah. And
you got to know some of those things as a follower of Jesus, I believe, to be able to have oh my gosh, I have a spider crawling up my back.
No, you don't.
Oh my gosh.
Do you really?
Dude, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I think it's on my shirt. Okay, we're still laughing.
Give me the willies thing about that.
Have you ever woken up with a bug on your face?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's disconcerting. I get that. I love that. Are you familiar with that John Mark McMillan song, Economy?
No.
I believe you have overcome my economy. It's like, it's kind of, it's not really a commentary on politics or the economy, but it's a good song. Fitting.
Give me some lyrics.
Fitting. Yeah, I can. I got to Google them.
Because it is like the vein of it, like, we just bypassed the fact that I had a spider crawling up my neck and up my.
It's still probably on there.
And so, is it talking about basically how to navigate the king? Is it a kingdom?
Yeah,
of God?
It's a kingdom. It's a kingdom message.
Because I think that's what's fascinating about Jesus. He steps in to time and he says, the kingdom of God is here, which is a political term. Kingdom is a political term.
Correct.
And he says, but it's the politics, it's the economy, it's the government, it's the ways, rules, belief structure system of God.
Right.
How to orient your life. What, you get the lyrics?
I do. It's not worth reading.
Okay. This is great. This is great podcasting because they're so deep that they're not.
Yeah,
nobody's. It's just a bunch of words.
Yeah, you need a cigar and about 6 hours to soak them in. So
we are not pro nicotine.
Here's
saving face there. That's
another thing not worth saying.
That's a political statement.
Yeah, I'll soften the blow of conspiracy theory. We'll see how this hits you.
Oh,
I'm not sure we landed on the moon.
Oh my!
Right?
Don't do this because So here's the deal. My son, my oldest son, listens to this podcast. He might be our only religious, faithful listener, and he has talked about before. We watched some stupid show about conspiracy theories about how you don't see stars in the video. And
why is the flag waving?
Why is the flag waving? And he just brings it up all the time. You know what I think? I don't think we landed on the moon. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. But that was a political race.
Yeah,
an empire, a race to the moon. In
a different world that was starting to blossom the kind of global economy and everything we see now, that was like when race. All of it was flourishing, and that was very important.
Yeah.
In my thing, so here's what I would relate it to. You can call me ignorant. I am ignorant. I embrace that fully.
Okay.
But like
why would you put that on? I didn't say anything about your ignorance.
I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to listeners.
Okay.
I was speaking to Keegan directly. Okay. For the same reason that, to me, one of the biggest apologetics of like, here's why I believe that the claims of Christ were true is because you watch the disciples after give up their lives willingly, right?
Okay, yeah.
So for that same, like, you see this event and you see what comes. The biggest thing that makes me go, wait, why have we not gone back? Why in 60 years
have we not?
No.
Are you sure?
Right?
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But if we haven't, why have we not?
I don't know. Maybe because we don't need to.
We've
seen it all. There's moon rocks.
We're selling property on the moon. You know, like you can buy oceanfront property.
So
anyhow,
I love that you just bridged the gap between the disciples seeing the resurrected Jesus
and landing on
the moon.
God bless America.
Everything is spiritual.
Everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. Right now there's a race to. Okay, this has opened up a can of worms, but finding a vaccine. I watched a news report today how there's a race. How like. We want to be the first people to find a vaccine for COVID-19 because there's some oomph and, quite honestly, a lot of money tied up.
I'm sure.
And so, like, if we're the first to the vaccine, we're going to get the first deal. And the first, man, I was reading a chapter of the book With by Skye Jethani last night, and opened up to reading the part Life from God. If you haven't read the book, it is simple, but it is deep, and it is so good. And in this chapter, he talks about how as Americans, how as Western, and in this pretty much our global economy, our global thought is consumerism is the new, like, religion.
Be all, end all of everything.
Yeah, it's like, well, so what's our first response? He makes the argument, like, what's our first response when the towers fall? They say, keep shopping. Like, there's actually a quote that's like, keep buying, keep this economy going. When this happens, what happens? We get a stimulus check.
So that
keep
we can
spending, because our infrastructure and our construct of life is built around buying.
Yes.
Everything. TV shows built around marketing. Sports, like everything is constructed around consumerism.
And in the evolving world we live in, there's like, as TV moves away from live, you're watching it with bunny ears on your television to streaming. Like there has to be a reinvention of how marketing is successful, you know?
Yeah.
And so, it's interesting. He has another book. I've not read the whole thing. I've read excerpts. I'm not sure it's before or after with called The Divine Commodity. And it's a lot focused on the product driven economy thing, which now I kind of want to circle back and read the whole thing. But yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Because if we were to take a step back, this is the greatest conspiracy of all. I don't think that is
what you're about to say.
It's a very bold statement to make. No, I was just rambling. But like to think back to like when you haven't been marketed to. And I think for the church in this season, it's very important to pay attention to kind of like what. So through the lens of church leaders, church people, you know, like how has the church fallen maybe prey to the consumerism mentality, or how do you live in that? How do you navigate this season? You know, like, and so much of I don't know what the question is or what the comment is, but just like to recognize the role that consumerism plays in our faith, and to say Jesus invites us into something different.
So. Yeah.
And that's the kingdom, right? That's the politics of God clashing with the politics and kingdom of God coming up against the kingdom of man, kingdom of, I don't know. So
What's the old...
That's the greatest conspiracy of all.
Yeah. So a phrase that has, I think, climbed to the top of the pyramid of importance in my life for critical thinking and empathy and everything is, I don't know what it means. Maybe you can tell me. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Like that comes to my mind 6 times every day, because there's always a delicate balance between like let's face it, there are very few things in our world that are wholly WHOLLY, wholly right or wholly wrong. You know, like we live in this millions of shades of gray in between, where you're like, not like, shut up, I'm talking the gutter, but like, no, but like in decision making, it's not like, oh, there's a clear right and a clear wrong. I'm going to do the clear right. No, it's like, that's good. This could be better. And so like, you're always forced to go. So what I'm getting at is, because of the way the world is always changing, culture is always changing, communication styles are always changing. Like you just can't throw the baby of consumerism out with the bathwater of consumerism. There's a better way to say that.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
I know.
Like where you can't just go, we're not going to do anything that resembles marketing because it's the word marketing and that's evil and that's wrong.
Right.
It's like, no, we
it's can't like social media.
And I'm trying to remember.
How do you redeem?
It could be somebody else's quote, but John Russell, a good man.
We're getting
from
a
my
John
past.
Russell quote. Here we go.
Is principles and methods. Oh, what's the quote?
I don't know. Oh man, the anticipation is killing me.
Methods are many, principles are few. Methods always change, principles never do.
Oh, I was going to say, how about you?
How about you? Right? Methods
like
are many, principles are few. Methods always change, principles never do. So we have these principles, these things.
But methods can change.
The methods can change.
Which leads us to fluidity.
Yeah. But that's powerful because like that I think encapsulates the baby with the bathwater thing, where it's like, listen, there are different ways we have to approach sharing these principles and truths. And
no, I think that's really good. And I think hearkening back to the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus says, you are salt. You're the salt of the earth. What does salt do? It preserves, it pulls out what's good. It adds to the goodness, but also preserves the goodness. So you take,
by highlighting the flavor.
Yeah, by pulling out what's good and holding on to, even in the whatever landscape we're in, holding on to those good and shining light on the good things and exposing the good things. So it's a Jesus principle. That's really good.
And salt goes on so many dishes.
Yeah.
You know,
You can throw
it's
it on
not
everything.
like it only works on fish. It's like you can
Fish.
put it on, yeah, whatever you want. I like
What are
salt.
we-
I like to salt my peanut butter.
That's weird.
Do you?
Oh, well, although like salted caramel,
Yeah.
good salted caramel.
Reese's.
Jenna loves salt on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Who doesn't?
It
You don't?
burns my lips. Have you ever had so much salt that your lips are
yeah,
chapped and you're like,
yeah,
I can't
it
do it?
hurts. Yeah, it hurts.
But she's got like a salt.
Salt lick. Like she just goes to the kitchen.
No,
and
like she's got like what is it? Like she can her body
tolerance, extra
tolerance, a salt
yeah.
tolerance that I don't have, and I appreciate that about her.
It's a weird thing to appreciate about your wife. You write that in a Mother's Day card.
So I'm so appreciative of your salt tolerance. Your salt
Thank
tolerance
you.
is high.
Thank you for that.
You've developed that over a long time. So yeah. So how do we get up? What are we even talking about right now?
It doesn't matter.
Consumerism, politics, kingdom, conspiracies, landing on the moon.
Well, no. Is it too soon to share?
No, we've talked about
fluidity.
No,
what your thoughts on? Because
no,
I thought that was
fresh.
important.
No, so we've talked about in this changing, ever-changing context and how we have left old normal, we are experiencing a new normal, and we will continue to step into a normal that we've never known. So and as a church, we've had to respond pretty quickly. We've been pretty nimble. You know, quite frankly, we don't have the overhead that most churches do. We don't have the mortgage and we have a minimal staff. You know, we've got minimal expenses, and that allows us to do a lot in this season and to be it's been a blessing.
Yep.
But as we go forward, so I listened to something yesterday by a guy named Leonce Crump. He's a Leonce Crump. He's a pastor in Atlanta, Georgia, and very sharp guy. He talked about flexibility versus and how and I as he was talking, I'm like, I'm proud of our church for being so flexible.
Yeah, I've used that phrase.
We've talked about being nimble and being quick and being like moving,
able to be light on our feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said, but flexibility has an end, has a breaking point. You think about flexibility in terms of a rubber band.
Correct.
You can pull a rubber band and it's so flexible
Pop.
until it pops and it hits you in the face.
Yep.
And your kids are
And
crying.
everybody's hurt.
And he said, I want to introduce this idea of fluidity, which is not a new idea, but he's like, in this season, it's causing us to look at being fluid. So being fluid, meaning water. Water you can put in any container or in any context, and it never loses what it is, right? Like what makes water is still water.
Yep.
But it can fit and mold and be no matter the context. And this is the gift that is the church. And as we go forward, I don't know about you, but I have this like, we're gonna be flexible in this time. We're gonna bend. We're gonna give. We're gonna all these things, but we're still gonna keep the shape and of a circle rubber band. And but what if we're stepping into a season of fluidity
where that doesn't work?
There's not really a shape. It's a shifting, moving concept that it actually causes a little anxiety to think through.
Yeah.
Like what if we don't have the same confines going forward? What if and we coming back to what we talked about with Moses, what if this season of preparation and of forced flexibility, forced fluidity is preparing us for something to come that is a different box, a different container, a different, I don't know.
Because like what's the word I'm looking for? Not the connotation. The thing that's implied about a rubber band's flexibility is like at some point it returns to that original shape.
Yeah.
And like maybe that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Like maybe we can never get back to that same exact rubber band shape.
Yeah.
And is that okay?
Some of our friends are opening church in other parts of the country and, with mask stations and, and organized seating. They're scheduling people to attend service at a given time.
Right.
And, it's just fascinating. So like, I don't know. Just so you know, if you're listening, we're kind of just watching and listening and not reacting quickly, but like prayerfully paying attention and saying, okay, God, what do you have for our church in this season?
now.
Because we're, I told this to Jenna, and she said it sounds a little hokey, but our church is still open.
Yeah.
But it is. It's like we're still doing Jesus. Mm-hmm. We're still doing together. We're still doing growth. We're still bringing hope in our community.
Yeah.
Now we're a little distanced and we're pulled apart a little bit. So we're going to still fight for some of the community aspects and the encouragement aspects of this. But how can we continue to be fluid as we go forward? So that was the thought. And it's kind of like been kicking around in my head for a whole 24 hours. And that's where we're going.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay, good.
I like the fluidity.
I like
picture.
I like what you had to say earlier.
You don't have to compliment me just because I compliment. It doesn't have to be.
I think we need to get back to last podcast topic of who you dated in high school.
Oh yeah, it was very few people. You guessed it though. You followed
afterwards.
up.
I was doing the dishes and it hit me.
Popped into your head.
Yeah, it popped into my head.
Oh.
So hey, tonight, if you're listening on a Thursday, tonight is Okimomo Grill. Really cool story. Skylar contacted. We've kind of delegated some of our
workload,
our staff roles,
Yeah.
and Skylar's now taking small business buyout. He called Okimomo, and they said, "How cool is this? We've heard of your church, and through the grapevine
of small business
buyout,
and like the power of that. Yeah,
we do need to do this. We need to come up with like a thing for everybody to see of like, this is how many small businesses we've helped in this way.
Yeah,
this is what's been Food Bank, Rise, Alano Club, like what, like to show
what's been able to happen.
60 days of quarantine.
Yeah.
How has the church remained itself?
Yeah.
In a different container.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
So, tonight, Okimomo, have you had it?
No, I'm excited.
Really good.
I got.
Did you get the spicy momo sauce?
I got the spicy momo with purple rice and the steak.
Nice.
Went all
what's
out.
What's your guilty pleasure food when you're like feeling down about yourself?
Oh,
what do you go eat?
It's it's probably General Tso's chicken.
From Panda?
No, they don't do that. I haven't found it here.
A good.
I like.
So you've.
Oh, what's
so
it
you've
called?
not
Mandarin Gourmet across from our house. I like that.
Hold
it's
on,
in that
where's
shopping
that?
center.
Okay, it's not the one up
It's
by
on the corner.
Chipotle. Don't go in there. We should probably do a small business.
I beg of you.
Is that a buffet?
They may have a buffet. I did not get the buffet.
We won't say what it's called.
Yes.
Because we support
Mandarin
all
Gourmet,
small business. That's a political response.
Mandarin Gourmet. I've got it once since everything's shut down, but it's good. It's not my like all-time favorite. There was a place near where I grew up called Peking House, and it was so good.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
There
really
was
good.
when I first got married, there was a Chinese buffet in Lakeside Park that Travis and I would frequent.
The buffet one?
It was it was when I like put on another person.
Oh yeah.
In early ministry, when everybody wanted to take you to lunch and you just ate like
to the heart's content.
Stopped playing sports.
Yeah.
Started eating like
and
you were in a sport
all the time.
Yeah.
Man.
And so yeah, it's crazy.
That's my guilty pleasure. You?
Ice cream.
Yeah,
I mean, outside of ice cream, I probably would say, yeah, a nice thing of fried rice. I love fried rice, chicken fried rice. I like that.
Cool.
It's good. So
have you had Okimomo?
Yes.
Am I going to
Okimomo,
be pleased?
Yes.
Good.
It's very good. Jen and I went there on a couple days. When in our old normal, we had Friday date days.
Right.
So Friday, because we kind of work on the weekends, Friday was kind of a day off where we would go to the beach or go to lunch, or we had a thing where we would try every breakfast burrito in the city.
I remember that, yeah.
And Beach and Biscuits has a great breakfast burrito. But we had Okimomo a couple times. Ate there with a guy named Gary, not Gary Holdgraffer. I don't think you're listening to this, but if you are,
hi.
I remember eating there with you.
For what it's worth.
And Jenna and I went there a couple times for a date. It was really good.
I'm excited.
Yep. This will be great tonight. Kyle Eidelman is in the house.
I'm excited for that.
Kyle's great. Good. If you haven't gotten Grace is Greater, the book, Purchase it on Amazon now, and it's a great read. I think it's a deep dive into grace. It's not a deep dive. I'd say it's a deep dive articulates that it's
a shallow
like,
swim.
that it's like no, that it's like a deep theological work on grace. It's not. It's like
just a chance to.
He talks about experiencing.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna tip something off. He talks about like how Jesus never said the word grace.
Huh. Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Never said the word.
Yeah.
So
cool.
he just exemplified it. So it's a great book. Talks about the experience of grace. He's going to be here setting up our series, our Grace is Greater series. I'm going to try and twist Jordan's arm to. You're going to preach soon. Why don't you want to preach?
I do want to preach.
Let's hash this out right now. How long have we been talking?
We've been talking for 26 minutes.
Okay, so in the next 1 minute.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up.
In the next 1 minute.
Lose our video. I do want to preach badly, and I am there.
But
ready.
You have some.
But not
you've
this
got
series.
You've got some principles.
So I have not read.
It doesn't
Grace
matter.
Is Greater.
It doesn't matter.
But it does.
Has grace played a part in your life?
Sure. But
no, not sure.
I need to. I'm just not an every week preacher. Like I don't have the rhythms you do to go, okay, I write a sermon every week. And so I need a little more time. And I need to hear his, and I feel like I would need to hear you preach on it before I could go, okay, this is the ground that hasn't been.
Yeah, well, that can be week
walked
3.
on. Right, but then I only have 1 week.
Yeah.
And I can't do that.
It's fantastic.
I can't do that.
Okay, maybe we'll add a 4th week and you can do the 4th week.
Yeah.
Because I'm not preaching his book. I mean, you can read the book.
I know that.
I mean, it would be really easy just to read pages 7 through 17 for the sermon. 10-page.
You have no idea the kind of resistance I have to peer pressure, so...
It actually, when you feel pressure, you actually.
I shut
actually,
down, man. It digs my heels in more.
I know.
So.
Jenna has that gift too.
Oh yeah.
Is that the 6?
I'm
the
sure
Enneagram
it is.
6?
I'm sure it is.
What is that about?
Why haven't we done an Enneagram?
Okay, so in conflict, what do? You just like turn off?
Let's save this.
No, I need a little peek.
Let's save this.
Okay. So,
we're gonna put on the schedule. Enneagram podcast.
All right.
And we're going to give people a fair warning so that they may take a test.
Hey, one thing that's coming up. Okay. We are doing this.
Okay.
We're doing we're going to start a family gathering in the evenings where we get on a Zoom call live on Facebook, update everybody on church stuff, talk about life, banter, bring in some folks.
Cool.
We're also going to start floating. We need to do some interviews on here too.
Yeah, we do.
So we might bring in If you didn't know, Jordan's doing this I want to get to know you more thing with worship ministry that is awesome. It's really funny.
We're going to roll it out? You want to roll it out to the whole?
Yeah, we could roll it out. We could share one.
Need some different questions.
Yeah. So this week, Kyle Eidelman, and we'll be together. Jordan's playing drums.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun.
Yep. Okay.
And Brent's leading.
I'm not leading. We're all leading.
We're all leading.
Co-leading.
Yeah. And you're leading from your homes.
Hey, do you have TikTok?
No.
Does it Blair?
No.
Okay. It's like taking the country by storm right now.
I refuse.
I don't have it.
I've dug my heels in. Peer pressure. It's exactly what.
I'm gonna read the newspaper.
Okay.
The physical newspaper.
Yep, that's what I do.
Never checking the internet. All right.
Well, we love you guys. And
did we land on the moon? Let's leave you with that.
Yeah.
Leave your vote
here.
Send
us a text. Let us know your position on that.
All right. Sounds good.
Peace.